Welcome. I'm Nora Shabazi, the founder of EBLI, Evidence-Based Literacy Instruction, a system of effective, efficient, research-based activities and strategies to teach anyone to reach their highest potential in reading, writing, and spelling through classroom or remediation instruction. And today I'm going to talk about read-alouds. Who doesn't love a good read-aloud, right? So I want you to look at how can you be creative in doing read-alouds with your students or with your own children in order to really just open up their world and take them to new worlds without going anywhere besides your couch or curled up in the bed altogether. Back in the 1990s, we were moving to Guam from the States, and we were going to drive across the whole country to LA, from Michigan to LA, and then fly to Guam. So I got this idea to read the Little House on the Prairie series to my daughters because we were going to be going through a lot of the places out west where Laura Ingalls and her family had lived and had been. We actually stayed in a bed and breakfast that was on the site of one of their homes. So I read the whole series of Little House on the Prairie to my 1 and 4 and 6-year-old, and of course it was well above what obviously they could read by themselves, but even above what so much of the content and the vocabulary and obviously the background knowledge and so many things that got to expand their thinking and their ability, and their excitement was even more so because we were then going to follow, pretty much the path that Laura did as they were, continued to kind of move west in her world. So think about how can you connect something to read to, whether it's someplace you're going to go on vacation or something your kids are really interested in, or a movie that you watched that made you curious and you wanted to find out more. So, get those books that are going to really stretch your students or your own children, and be really, think about like you're reading with a friend, like, wow, I wonder what's going to happen. Why do you think they did that? But obviously at your kids' level, and do those things that great readers do as far as questioning or predicting, or gosh, what's going to happen with that lion? Is the panther going to jump out of the tree? What's going to go on? What do you think? And then we all would kind of talk about it and decide what our prediction was. And it was not in a schooly way, but in a really casual, laid back manner, but that really got a lot of great information and excitement into listening to a story and to a flow of the story. Doing this with articles is a great idea. I loved learning about, the narwhals and the Amazon forest and Hawaii and volcanoes. So many things that I didn't know that I thought I kind of knew about, but I really didn't. In reading those informational articles, you can do the same thing. But what you really want to do is get to a sustained story where kids realize that once I get to be a proficient reader, I will be reading these novels and chapter books too. So, it whets their appetite for that. So be sure that you do some read-alouds. Whether you're a teacher after lunch when the kids come in during the school year, great time. I remember our teacher used to do that in our teachers in elementary school, and it was like my favorite time of the day because you can just kind of relax and just really absorb all of this information and kind of take yourself away to a whole nother place. So think about how you can use read-alouds, and be sure that you do that. It's really going to help expand the knowledge, of course, of whoever you're reading to, and their comprehension when kids are reading on their own also. So thank you for joining me for this blog. I appreciate you being here and being part of our mission to teach the world to read.